All right, the watch list for, let's see, Wednesday, March 2nd. If you have a trader friend who, when the SPY gapped down on February 11th and was down below 182 after the gap down, if you have a friend that told you, in less than 3 weeks we'll be up here near 200, stay close to that person, because that's a good person to know. I don't know anybody who is saying that, and we just keep climbing. It's pretty impressive. Where we're going from here, I don't know, but it's definitely the bulls are in charge for the last 2.5, 3 weeks. So here's my list for tomorrow. All right, I'm an intraday trader, so I don't worry too much about the longer term charts. I look for stuff that should give me a good trade tomorrow. So keep that in mind when watching my video. SALT got a big spike here. Quiet inside day today, which it was overdone to the upside. So I'm going to put that on long watch for tomorrow. VLTC, this is one of those quiet ones, but every once in a while it gets moving. You can see what it did back here, went crazy back here, nice move here. Well, you got this spike back here a few weeks ago, and it's been just sideways ever since. Little spike here, right back in, a little spike here, and today actually closed green. So now when we switch to 15-minute candles, keeping that chart in mind, you can see it's kind of putting in higher highs and higher lows. This looks really good over Tuesday's high, which was today. All right, over 470. I always look to the left and say, hey, what's in the way, or what's the next possible catalyst? So if this breaks 470, the other day it spiked up to 490. So we might make a move and retest 490, and then if you picture it breaking 490, there's really nothing in the way. It might just rip up to test the highs of this recent spike. So it's a lower float stock that moves pretty well at times. Glance at the float here. I'm showing like 9 million shares in the float. So pretty good setup because you got good support below. So let's keep VLTC on watch. ENOC. I really like this chart a lot. I actually lost some money on this one this morning on a trade. I ended up having a decent day, but I took a quick loss on this one this morning. ENOC, big pop back here. Now you kind of have a little cup and handle, right? Or a nice little flag here on the daily. You get up over these recent highs. There's, again, like VLTC, there's nothing in the way. Just to show you real quick how I traded this morning. I loved the chart, so it had my attention when it opened here. These are 5-minute candles. Then it flushed down, right? It looked like, okay, well, today's not going to be the bounce day, and then right back up. So called it just on a 5-minute buy setup, which is right here, but actually got filled right at 620. It broke the high of the day, which is where it should have gotten volume, about 20 minutes in the session, and it didn't follow through, so I took like a 6-cent loss, something like that. And ended up 6 hours later closing pretty close to that same price. So it's still coiling, I guess. But over today's high, 628. Then you look to the left, you have 644 and 660. And then it could be off to the 200-day. Maybe a test to 720 or a test to this high. So keep that one on watch. I'd like to see volume coming in if I'm going to trade it again. TMST, I've drawn the lines here. It's in a nice flag pattern still. I've been watching this one. Steel stocks are holding up pretty well. So I like if it can break out of this flag. I'll zoom in a little bit here. Today's high, 808. It looks really good over 808 because then, again, like I just said, look to the left. You have a recent high of 831, 863, and then maybe a test of this high. So I like this one. My first trigger would probably be 809 if it gets there. As I'm babbling, I'm putting that exact price in my notes. And when I put the chart up tonight, I fill one monitor with my watch list charts. I got another monitor. I have just my gap play. So when I put my watch list up on the one monitor, I've got 9 charts on it. I will draw a line at 808. So then tomorrow while I'm trading, I have a visual, right? So if it gets up to that line, I know, that's yesterday's. Or tomorrow it will be talking about today will be yesterday's high. You get the point. So that's how I handle that. Let's see. So that's TMST. KND. KND gapped up, lower high again, but it's finding, see 3 tails, it's finding buyers around the $10 area and closed near its high. So I like this one as a potential long. Tomorrow, let's see, that's KND, POM. I just had this on bounce watch, possibly oversold bounce. Okay, so POM just got decimated today. It's worth watching. Speaking of decimated, ASPS, 3 days down in a row. Actually almost got to 18 today, big volume. This is also on bounce watch. I don't ever catch a falling knife, so it'll have to meet my intraday parameters. And actually, if it meets my trigger, it'll be going up at the time. I don't know what's going on with this one or OCN. These two always move together. OCN, if you didn't give me a symbol and said, hey, look at this chart, what do you think's going on? I would say, well, this was over $6 3 sessions ago, and now it's at 2. So I'm sure there must be something to do with potential bankruptcy, because that is just a decimation there. So be aware that we're talking about ASPS in the same space as OCN, and OCN, the chart says possible bankruptcy. Do not quote me on that. I haven't looked up the news. All right, but just be aware of the danger anytime you're trading something that's really beaten up like that. And then lastly, VRX. Nice volume today, down 3 days in a row. This one, speaking of decimated, pretty beaten up too. This one goes on bounce watch for tomorrow. That is my complete list. The SPY was so strong today that most things just grinded higher all day, so very tough to put together a list of standouts. But this is what I've come up with so far, and we'll be watching for gappers in the morning to play as well. All right, enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.